Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to our Nutrition Live session. My name is Sharnet Nixon, and I am a nutrition educator with the Southern University Ag Center. I service the parishes of East Baton Rouge and East Feliciana Parish. In today's discussion, we'll be talking about getting physical, easy at home workouts. So I know we've been stuck inside for a long time, so now it's time to get active. Let's get physical, easy at home workouts. You may not have time to drive to a gym or other locations to perform your daily physical activity. Having time to work out is generally one of the main barriers for why people do not work out. Also, gym memberships can be expensive. So, working out at home is a great tool to utilize. Home based exercises can be the most convenient and least expensive ways for you to get your daily physical activity in. So, that's what we're going to discuss today. We'll talk about what is physical activity, the benefits of physical activity, the three different types of physical activity, and what we all came for, the easy at home workouts. So let's jump into what is physical activity. Physical activity can be defined as any movement of the body that requires energy expenditure. This includes any motion you do through the day, excluding sitting still or laying down. And here are some examples: walking to class, taking the stairs, mowing the lawn, and even cleaning your house can be considered physical activity. Did y'all know that? Cleaning the house can be considered physical activity. Exercise is a type of physical activity, but not every physical activity is exercise. So, what is exercise exactly? So, exercise is a planned, structured, repetitive activity for the purpose of improving or maintaining physical fitness. So we know physical activity is defined as movement of the body that requires energy expenditure, and exercise is planned, structured, and repetitive activity for the purpose of improving or maintaining physical fitness. So remember those, remember those. Why should I be physically active? So we know that being physically active can help us in a lot of areas of our lives, as far as weight control and also helping with medical complications. So, more than one third of the US population, which is about 35.7%, is considered obese. In simplest terms, obesity is excessive fat accumulation that impairs health. Obesity has a wide range of medical complications, and a few of them are pulmonary disease, cancer, stroke, gallbladder disease, diabetes, and that's just to name a few. It's so many more. The cause of obesity in two people is rarely the same. Sometimes it could be genetics, lifestyle, and even viruses. They all play in a role in contributing to obesity. Obesity is a growing epidemic in our nation, but the change starts with us. So, physical activity can give you the proper steps towards an obese free neighborhood, city, and nation. And that's one of our main goals. Oh, we have a quick question quiz. All right, what is physical activity? Hmm? Hmm? What is physical activity? That is correct. So, physical activity is any movement of the body that requires energy expenditure. So, just moving that body up and down, left and right, you're expending energy. So, that is considered physical activity. Now, what is exercise? Do y'all remember? What is exercise? Hmm? Exercise is planned, structured, and repetitive activity for the purpose of improving or maintaining physical fitness. So we know exercise is planned and structured and repetitive activity, and physical activity is any movement of the body. All right, now let's talk about some benefits of physical activity. So, one of the benefits are it reduces risk for cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, and other chronic health conditions. It helps with weight control. It helps strengthen bones and muscles. It improves mental health, mood, and energy, and it improves your quality of life. So these are all the great benefits of being physically active. And majority of the time, they want you to get 60 minutes in a day. But I know our days are busy. So if you can at least get 30 minutes in, that'll be great. Starting off with 30 minutes, just so you can benefit from all of these great benefits. Now, what are some types of physical activities? Now, I don't know if y'all know, but there are three main types of physical activity, and they are aerobic, muscle strengthening, and bone strengthening. Now, let's check out each type, how it helps your body, how much of it you need, and great ways to do it. Some of the exercises can even count in all three categories. So, we're going to jump more into depth with those types of physical activity. So the first physical activity is aerobic activity. So what is aerobic activity? That is when you get your heart pumping, and it also makes you breathe harder. It usually gets your whole body moving. So aerobic gets your heart pumping and makes you breathe harder. How do I do it? You can run, skip, jump rope, swim, dance, bike, walk quickly, and more. So many things you could do that are aerobic activities. Try to do a mix of different activities throughout the day. How often do I need to do aerobic activity? So every day, most of your 60 minutes of activity should be aerobic activity. And if you can't get 60 minutes in, you only can do 30, make half of that aerobic. So that'll be 15 minutes aerobic, and then 15 minutes you can do maybe muscle training or bone strengthening. And why should I do aerobic activity? Because aerobic activity makes your heart and lungs strong. It boosts your mood. It can help prevent certain diseases, including the most common type of diabetes, which is type 2 diabetes. And it may even help you live longer. So those are some great things that you get from aerobic activity. Now let's move on to muscle strengthening activity. What is muscle strengthening activities? So it is activities made that can make the muscles do more work than usual, which makes them stronger. So that is muscle strengthening. How do I do it? That depends on which muscles you want to work. So you're going to lift certain things or weight train certain things only to target a certain area. So if you want to tone your arms or build muscle in your arms, you're going to do push-ups or curls or something like that. So examples include doing push-ups, squatting, or climbing trees. So these are all muscle strengthening activities. You can also lift weights, but make sure you get an instructor to show you how to do it properly. How often should you do muscle strengthening? At least 3 days each week as part of your 60 minutes of physical activity each day. So you want to try and do muscle strengthening at least 3 days a week. Why should I? Strong muscles make it easier to do daily tasks. They help prevent injuries and they burn more calories, so they help you maintain a healthy weight. Yes, and we all would like to maintain a healthy weight. So let's move on over to bone strengthening activity. What is bone strengthening? So bone strengthening activities push on your bones to make them grow and get strong. The push usually happens when your feet hit the ground, like when you walk or run. So bone strengthening activities, we want to remember that it's when your feet hit the ground. So whatever it is, if that's hopscotch, um, squats, frog hops or kangaroo jumps, something like that, that your feet are constantly hitting the ground. How do I do it? You can play basketball, tennis, volleyball, or hopscotch, for example. You can run, walk, or jump rope. These also are aerobic and build some of your muscles. So these can go into all three categories. Biking and swimming aren't as good because you're not pushing against the ground. How often do you need to do bone strength activities? At least 3 days each week. So you want to do at least 3 days of muscle strengthening and 3 days of bone strengthening each week. Why should I? So, why should you do bone strengthening activities? Your body builds the most bone during your childhood and teenage years. Strong bones help protect against osteoporosis. So, even for our adults, you still want to stay active. You still want to do bone strengthening because it can help protect you from osteoporosis. We have another quick question quiz. All right, number one, how many types of physical activity are there? How many? How many? How many types? We talked about it earlier. That is correct. It's three. Three types of physical activity. Now, what are those three types of physical activity? What are the names? Do y'all remember? That is correct. Aerobic activity, two, muscle strengthening activity, and three, bone strengthening activity. So now let's get into the good part, easy at home workouts. So we're going to talk about workouts in each category, in each of the three physical activity types. So the first one is aerobic. So we have skipping and running. Those are great aerobic activities. Jumping jacks, butt kicks, burpees. Those are all great aerobic activities. So make sure you try to incorporate some of those into your physical activity. Now let's move on over to muscle strengthening. We have push-ups, sit-ups, squats, climbing stairs slash trees, but you want to make sure you are accommodated by a professional in order to climb stairs or trees. So please be careful. Bone strengthening, running and skipping, jumping rope, walking, dancing. So those are all some great bone strengthening activities. So remember, these are all activities we can do at home. That'll be aerobic activities, muscle strengthening activities, and bone strengthening activities. So try a few of these out and see how you like them. And for our lesson review, we learned what physical activity was, which is the body moving in any type of way to expend energy. We also learn the benefits of physical activity. So it helps control weight loss. It helps to prevent some diseases. It also helps us to strengthen our muscles and bones. The three different types of physical activity we have aerobic activity, muscle strengthening activity, and bone strengthening activity. Right, right. And the easy at home workout. So try some burpees, try jumping jacks, try some bear crawls, or some running in place, skipping in place, hopscotch. So do all of those things to help you stay physically active. And remember, if you are physically active and eating healthier, you most likely will live a long life. Thank y'all so much. That is all for the lesson. But before I leave you, let's go on to the lesson challenge. Now, after learning more about physical activity and easy at home workouts, I challenge you to be physically active 3 times this week for 30 minutes. That's 3 times this week for 30 minutes. So I challenge you to do that. And be sure to take pictures, post, and tag your favorite nutrition educators on Facebook at SU Ag Nutrition. Once again, thank you all so much for tuning in to our Facebook Live session. My name is Sharnet Nixon, and I am a nutrition educator with the Southern University Ag Center. I service the parishes of East Baton Rouge and East Feliciana Parish. Thank you so much and have a great day.